Welcome.
All right.
You can
Welcome to Yank Talk, Episode 2, Concacaf Connection production.
W talk. Always takes W's around here.
Last time we did this was after the Nations League.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When we beat Mexico.
Third Nations League in a row. So now we are going to discuss Copa America, probably I guess this group has played in a World Cup, but definitely the second biggest tournament that this group will have played in.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we will be predicting how the team will shape up in the group stages and beyond. And then maybe we touch on the Olympics for a little bit at the end if we feel so inclined, but we don't have to.
Yeah, we can touch on the Olympic squad, or we might want to wait until closer.
Yeah, the Olympics are still a ways away.
Yeah.
But Copa is what, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, under 3 weeks away, I think.
I'm actually not exactly sure. Let me.
I'm pretty sure it's now less than 3. It's like, what is it, the 5th? So I think it's like 17 days away now, or something like that.
June 20th. It's 15 days away.
Okay, yeah, 15 days. USA, obviously the host. So that that adds another wrinkle to this conversation. So in the USA's group, we have Uruguay, Bolivia, and Panama. What are your initial thoughts on that group, and how do you see the US team performing in that group?
I think we should win it. I mean, Panama we should definitely beat. Like, we know them; they're Concacaf. We're better quality than they are. Oh well, actually, you said I forgot. Uruguay's in our group. I could see us coming second in the group, but I'd like to believe that we can but at least draw Uruguay. If we do that, then it's probably going to come down to goal difference. And I just feel like Uruguay is going to have a better goal difference than us.
Yeah, I think we will handle Bolivia fairly easily. I think everyone in the group will, if we're being honest. And then, Panama, we know them. We've played them. That should be another easy win. So I really do think it will come down to that Uruguay game. And if it's a tie, then, it's really just going to come down to who beat Bolivia and Panama by more goals.
I feel like we could do a job on Panama. We've done a job on them before, but I mean, obviously, if they can as well, maybe I don't know, they might get CONCACAF'd by Panama, but
we can hope. We got to be big Panama fans when they play Uruguay.
But I can also like see them like routing Bolivia in an insane way that we aren't able to.
Yeah, like they could 4 or 5-0 them, and we would like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
something like that.
So it's very like it's on a knife's edge, in my opinion, on who comes up first in that group.
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing this up multiple times on this podcast because this is something, or on this special episode, because I do truly feel this way. But about a handful of teams in this competition. But I think that where we are with this group of players and the fact that this tournament is at home, we should be winning the group. We should be able to beat Uruguay at home. Like, if this group can't beat Uruguay at home at this stage, they've been together for a few years now. They've been through a World Cup together. They've won multiple trophies together. Like, Uruguay, I'm not trying to undersell Uruguay because they are a good team, but at home, like we've got the talent to beat Uruguay at home.
Yeah.
It's different if this was away.
Yeah. I'm looking at their recent matches, and I'm not sure how strong their squad is. I mean, it doesn't look like they have a lot of their starters in, but a loss to Ivory Coast, a draw against Costa Rica. I mean, if this is the type of form that they're going to bring in to Copa, then I don't think they're going to be.
Well, funny enough, they are playing Mexico as we speak.
Well,
they're 1-0 up thanks to Darwin Nunez in the 7th minute.
Darwin Nunez.
But no, I mean, this is early in Bielsa's tenure. So now could be the time to get them, because once he's able to, kind of fully implement everything and figure out the guys that he wants, I do think they will be very tough to beat.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I'm looking at their lineup for this game. This looks like the starting lineup that's going to be played during Copa. I could see maybe Cáceres starting. Probably not, though. He's a little bit older.
Yeah, see, like, this lineup, like, that does not scare me, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, there's quality players, but you mean to tell me that our best 11 can't beat that team at home? Like, I really think.
Yeah, for sure.
What I said about England in the last pod is kind of how I feel about the US this pod, or in this tournament. Obviously, it's relative because the quality is not the same.
Right.
But we have the talent to bail out Greg Berhalter. Like, so I think we should top the group. But
another thing, like their midfield is really good. I rate Ugarte, Bentancur. Where's Valverde? He's not. I guess he didn't make this lineup, but he'll be in probably over Rodriguez or Palestri. I don't know anything about this Rocher guy who's taken over for Muslera. So, I mean,
yeah.
I doubt he's better than. I mean, Muslera has been such a good goalkeeper for them throughout the years. Yeah, I mean, Darwin Nunez can be a problem, and like I said, I rate their midfield a lot. Ugarte, Bentancur, and Valverde, but their defense is a little mid, and Palestri could be a problem, but I don't think Araujo will be a problem. So,
yeah, I mean, it really comes down to USA and Uruguay. I think those are clearly the two best teams in the group.
mm-hmm.
On the flip side, looking at the knockouts, if the US were to top the group, I mean, it's so tough because they would play Group D regardless. So if we top our group, we play second place of Group D, which would most likely be Colombia.
Yeah.
If we finish second, we would have to play Brazil.
That would be tough
in the quarters. But let's see.
I think, and this isn't me being a biased USMNT fan, I think even if we finish second and Brazil finish first, I think we can Concacaf our way to a win against them. I think this Brazil team is very bullyable. This is the least amount. I cannot believe I'm going to use this word. This is like the most oralless Brazil squad I've seen in a while.
I mean, on paper, they still have a better roster than us.
Yeah.
But
I am.
I'll say what I said again. Like, I do believe that at home, in our backyard, like Colombia, we should be beating. Like, if we top the group, or if Colombia somehow top their group and we finish second, we should be in the semis. Like, we should be beating Colombia, and we play them Saturday, I think, in a friendly. So that'll be interesting to see. But no, I think it's semifinals or failure for the U.S.
Semifinals a failure?
No, semifinal or failure. If they lose in the quarters, it's a failure. If they obviously don't even get out of the group, it's a failure. Like the only way I'll come out of this,
if they don't get out of the group, sack Berhalter.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
if they make the semis, I'll be like, yeah, good. This was a good tournament with good experience. Like, we lost to. Odds are we'd lose to Brazil or Uruguay type team in the semis, which I can live with as long as we don't get killed, But
right. Okay, so
I in my TikTok video I made, I predicted that they would get to the final and lose to Argentina. So,
bro, you got roasted so hard for that. That was wild. Most of our players are in good form though. So, and I know Vinicius just came from winning the UCL, as well as Rodrigo. I mean, these players have played a long season. Not that our players haven't as well, but I mean, and Gomeres having to play and play in a Newcastle team where he's basically playing every single match because they didn't have anybody to rest for. Rodrigo and Vinicius just now finishing up their season. I mean, this low key.
And like I look at the Brazil bench, and like Endrick is probably like the most threatening player off the bench. Like, okay, that's cool. He's an 18-year-old who's unproven at a tournament like this. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to say we have better depth, but like, I just look at that bench and there's not a lot of players on that bench that scares me.
Yeah, they're not very moving.
Yeah.
Savio might be good off the bench. He was really good for Girona this season. Richarlison, the wind-up merchant. They'll probably start Bruno and Gabriel in defense. Or not Bruno, Bremer and Gabriel.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know what Gabriel can do. And I know he can make some rash decisions sometimes. And Bremer, I mean, he's at a Juventus squad who's a little bit mid. So
yeah, and I mean, if we attack their fullbacks, like I look like, we have the talent, we have enough skill out wide that I think Pulisic might feast.
Wendell's okay. Danilo,
Puli versus Danilo.
Yeah, bro might get cooked. I hope so. Their midfield is still pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. But
now's the time to beat Brazil. That's what a lot of people have been saying. Like, which I agree with. Like, they're vulnerable coming into this tournament.
You know what's gonna suck too is, since we've been saying it on the podcast, like, oh, we don't rate Vinicius as highly as everybody else, he's gonna end up scoring a hat trick on us or something.
Nah.
That would just be our luck,
You're right.
Rating him so much, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna pop off this game. Or Rafinha would pop off, which would be even more crazy. I would probably kill myself.
All
Blake
right,
is
so
close.
we do have 2 tune-up friendlies, like we said. They play Colombia in Landover, Maryland, and then Brazil in somewhere not currently stated on FootMob. How much stock are you going to take into those 2 friendlies?
I put more stock in the Brazil game because it's going to be closer to Copa, and so the squad will probably be stronger. I think, I mean, the Colombia game will probably have a decent squad in. We might have some of our bigger players on the bench, and I expect Colombia to do the same, just to give players a needed rest from like club play.
Yeah.
And then seeing what our what our bench has to offer. But yeah, the Brazil tune-up that'll be the one that I'm looking at the most. Because, like I said, that one's 8 days before Copa starts and 11 days before we play our first match in Copa. That'll be huge. That'll be very huge, and I could see Brazil starting a pretty solid side as well.
Yeah, both teams will probably go with their full-on A team for that game.
Yeah,
but I mean, they probably won't be going a full 100%. But
yeah, and I'm sure there'll be lots of substitutions at halftime and whatnot. So, but
I mean, that'll be a decent measuring stick, But
I mean, for me, that's a better measuring stick than the Colombia game. But well, I mean, imagine we beat Brazil in the friendly, and then people are looking at us in a different way. Or maybe I want us to lose, and that way, when we go ahead and have to play Brazil, they think less of us, and then
maybe let's tie Brazil in the friendly.
Go out and shock them. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't want my team to lose, but
let's beat Colombia and then tie Brazil in the friendly. Go in, confidence boost.
The only way that losing to Brazil would be good for us is that it puts in their mind that they're already superior than us if they play us again in Copa America knockouts. And then we come out and surprise them. That's the only thing. Obviously, the stakes aren't as high in a friendly, so it's hard to measure that.
That is a good point. I really do kind of wonder how Brazil would view us in that game. Maybe I'm thinking too, maybe I'm thinking that they think too, they don't think that much about the opponent, but are they gonna, if they match up against us in the quarterfinals, how are they going to treat it? Are they going to just kind of think that they can walk over us, and then that could maybe be a advantage for us because they might be a little lackadaisical because they don't think they think they don't have to play at full, capacity to beat us.
I think a match like this kind of reflects what it's like for club teams, like a Man City going to Crystal Palace away. It's like, oh, we don't have to play as well. We're already better than them. We can just play them off the park, and then Crystal Palace ends up drawing against them or something. This could be the same thing if they beat us. I honestly believe us beating Brazil might, if we meet up with them in Copa, us beating Brazil in the friendly could be the worst thing we could do. Because then they'll be taking the Copa game more seriously, a lot more seriously. Because they'll be like, we know what this USMNT team can do. We have to, it'll be like two top 6 teams going up against each other.
Yeah.
They'll be up for the game. They'll be like, oh yeah, we don't have to even try to motivate ourselves. Like we know what this team can do.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Brazil could just come out and be Brazil and just wipe the floor with us. So you never know. Sometimes Brazil is just Brazil. They can either shit the bed or they can make you shit the bed.
Yeah. We got to hope for the first option there. Now, from more of a player standpoint, who on our squad are you kind of looking at could be the X factor for us to go on a deep run?
John Johnson. I'm just kidding. Probably Reyna. I think if he's fully cooking, or low key Johnny. I think if he
that's a good shout.
Yeah, if he's able to run that midfield, I mean, yeah, he could be huge for us. I think his form and Reyna's form during the tournament might make or break what we do. Johnny cleaning up defensively, playing in balls, just making sure the midfield, we have a good grasp on it, and then Reyna coming up with goals and assists or just key passes in general. I think a lot hinges on our midfield. I'm pretty confident about our defenders.
So you think Tyler Adams gets benched for Johnny?
I think with Johnny's form and Tyler Adams having missed most of the season through injury, I think he should be benched for Johnny just because Johnny's already in form and played more matches. He's more up to shape with football right now. And I just think even if Adams had played, I think Johnny would have had a better season than him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Johnny right now is a better player than Tyler Adams is. Now, what Greg does, he'll probably put like motherfucking.
It'll be a McKennie and Musa double pivot with
which I mean,
Reyna as an attacking midfielder.
We complain about, but even that, I mean, those are two good midfielders. So now
it's difficult because I would love for there to be a way that Johnny, Reyna, Musa, and McKennie could all be on the field at the same time, but it's just not feasible.
If we played a diamond instead of a 4-3-3, we could, but then we have to sacrifice our wingers.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would be fine with. I would be fine. Now, I know like we're kind of shoehorning players in here, but I'd be fine with Pulisic and Haji Wright being our two forwards. And then Reyna as the cam, Musa and McKennie as the 2, and then Johnny at the 6.
That's kind of a good segue into my key, because I do think the biggest X factor is going to be who plays the striker and are they scoring.
Right. Yeah.
I think Josh Sargent is coming off his best club season probably ever. Ricardo Pepi was really, really good for a dominant PSV team. We saw Balogun really struggle with Monaco this season, and then Haji Wright was firing for Coventry. So I do think the X factor is whoever Greg chooses to start as striker, and if they're scoring goals, then I think we could beat anybody. If we have a striker scoring goals, and then you factor in Christian Pulisic's a threat, Gio Reyna's a threat, Tim Weah's a threat, McKennie's known to score headers from time to time. Like, I just think if we have a striker who's in form and scoring, then the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. One of my reasons low key for I kind of now that I like put it out there, playing the diamond, I kind of like the idea of not for Pulisic, but I feel like Weah doesn't always do enough for us.
Weah can be very hit or miss. I will give it that. I will give you that one. When he's firing like he was at the World Cup, he's really dangerous, but he kind of ghosted in this past Nations League and was essentially a non-factor.
Yeah, it's very, and like if we're going into Copa America, we need players firing on all cylinders in every match. And yeah, like can we? I don't want to just play a 4-3-3 just to accommodate for Pulisic.
And I mean, Pulisic has proven that he can play as like a 10 or a secondary striker. I think we've done that in the past, and if not, I think he's done that at Chelsea, where he's a secondary striker and he kind of just hangs back a little bit. So you could have like him and Sargent or him and Pepi up there.
Yeah. If necessary, Greg can even be like, you can drift wide to either side.
Yeah.
So you want to play on the wings, but I really like the thought of a diamond formation just because it seems like most teams don't even bother trying that anymore. And because our midfield would be pretty insane.
Our midfield is our strongest and deepest position for sure.
Which is, in my opinion, the most important part of the pitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like with Weston McKennie's form at Juventus this season, like even Juve fans I've been seeing on like Twitter and other sites are so thrilled with how Weston McKennie was playing this season. Like they know that he's like a baller. So he was in such good form. Obviously, Johnny had an incredible season, kind of came out of nowhere. And then you have Gio Reyna, who seems to become Kevin De Bruyne when he puts on a U.S. kit. So, I mean, that midfield would be filthy. And you throw in Musa, he's still so young, but he's really solid.
Yeah. Now, another X factor that is more like just you don't have to be outstanding, but don't look like you haven't played in a couple months is goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried because it'll probably be Matt Turner starting.
It should be. Yeah, it still should be.
I mean, Ethan Horvath, I don't think he gets switched in and out of Cardiff, so
yeah,
that position's a little bit worrying for me because I don't know what version of Matt Turner we're going to see, and him not playing for Forest is very worrying for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like when he plays for us, he's typically very good.
Yeah, usually he's been playing though, hasn't he? I mean, last time.
Well, when he was at Arsenal, he wasn't playing, and he was still strong for us.
I know. Yeah, he was at least playing in cup matches though.
True.
Which I know, like, all that depends on, like, how far did you make it in the cup, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that position.
No, that's fair. And that's usually a position that we don't have to worry about.
I know.
We've always had a bona fide superstar goalkeeper.
Not anymore. Gone are the days of Tim Howard, Casey Keller.
Well, don't worry. We have Slonina and Chris Brady and all these younger guys on the come up. So
yeah,
someone will pan out.
This will be a good question, I think. Who do you think starts defensively?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I had a little exercise prepared.
Uh-oh. Not an exercise. I'm not ready for this. Oh no.
Let's build our lineup for, I guess, the first game or just our ideal lineup here.
Shit.
We got formation options.
Let's do.
Should we do? Let's just say USMNT Copa 11.
Should we do it based off how we want them to line up or how we think Greg's going to line them up in terms of formation?
Should we have fun or should we just be
boring? We could do both.
Let's do how we would want to line up first,
right.
And then I guess we can do Greg afterwards.
Yeah. So 4-1-2-1-2. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Bet.
All right. Goalkeeper, obviously.
Sean Johnson.
Sure thing. Left back is pretty obvious. Anthony Robinson.
Here's where
center back partnership.
Here's
honestly,
it becomes a little bit.
If it was me, Chris Richards is like obvious. I think is obviously our best center back.
Carter Vickers has had a good season.
I was gonna say I would start Carter Vickers over Tim Ream. I would go with Chris Richards and CCV.
Tim Ream's kind of been in and out of Fulham's lineup, right?
Yeah.
But he always steps up in the U.S. jersey.
Yeah, he does.
However,
I'm just going to put Richards in since we both agree on Richards.
I think Tim Ream's lost a step. Not that he had very many steps to begin with. But
is Richards a left-sided or a right-sided center back?
I think he plays. He's a left-sided. I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see where he played.
Mom just says center back.
No, he's right-sided.
Oh, he's right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't help. Let me see this.
So then Richards is on the right.
So
then it comes down to Carter Vickers or
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
His voters. This is how it's 9 holes. See if I can break Carter down. Blackie's also doing 9 holes on his channel. He's free, so if you want to check that out. Is that good? Let's pull this bad boy out on Blackie's dome piece of the woods. Sounds about right. Get the jitters out, Boogie. No more of that. We're gonna stop that right now. Sit. This is just such a good sight right here. Flacky. Let's see if I can read a green. This green's fat. Okay, well, it's not very fat. We're gonna adjust to the new course a little bit. One of the key characteristics of a good golfer is the ability to let a hole slip out of the green. Please do not be in the bunker. That was a beautifully struck ball. Sorry, little ball. Maybe next time. I would really love to hit a fairway because this rough is thicker, juicier, and denser than Milwaukee. Alright, just put him on tap. He's crumbling over there. He's crumbling. Okay. I'm right here, mental game. Mental game. Hit a brick wall. Okay, this green's fast. Scotty could be a problem today. Dude, I thought that was going to be a par for sure. Now I'm sniffing double. That needs to sit down too. I'm just going to 5-putt there. That's crazy. Just actually crazy that that's not going in the hole. Just love 4-putting. I mean, I love. What else would I do, Clack? You know, what else would I do? Unregulated and getting double bogey has got to be the most craziest thing I've ever seen. It's right here. I'm not faced. I know it's a promise. Now I'm back. I am not letting freaking Milwaukee beat me. Okay, boys, I'm gonna lock in for you. I promise. Hit it, please. Hit it, please. Hit it, please. Look, have we got a good shot? All video? No. In my face? Absolutely. No. Haven't even sniffed it. Got a cold start the swinger. That's a fairway ball. I swear, if I'm not in the fairway, we're gonna have a problem. Gosh, Blackie, this course is kind of minty. I don't think I've hit a putt within 6 feet of the hole. So, sit. Yes. Finally, a good putt. I'm back. This is Milwaukee's hole-in-one hole. This is show the kid that it wasn't very impressive. I'm gonna go ahead and give one myself. Please. Yes. Oh my gosh, Blackie, stop it, Blackie. You know that had a chance for a second. It's your tie, baby. I'm gonna bring in my foot. Dive of a shot. But if I 3-putt, I'm gonna Scotty giveaway. Comment below. Do you have a chance to win it? Just stay up. Ball stays up, though. Why are you breaking? Big Daddy's coming back out. Apologize to anybody watching back home. I almost missed the ball.
Good evening.
All right.
Sorry about that.
You're good. We were discussing Tim Ream versus Carter Vickers.
Right. So I think, listen, South American players, lots of pace. I got to go with Carter Vickers.
I agree.
And I think he can do just as good of a job as Tim Ream, if not better. So I think that's set pretty well.
Right back, we kind of only have one option.
Scally W. Love that for him.
Midfield, Johnny, right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa. I guess McKenny Musa.
Yeah. Although low-key, Tillman could do a job over Musa.
But yeah, but Tillman would be up here, and we need Gio up at the 10. So
fair enough. And Reyna.
Yep. And all right, this is where it gets interesting.
Why'd you type in De Bruyne where Reyna should be?
Oh, my bad.
Just kidding.
Who starts up top for you? You can't have Pulisic off the pitch, so I do think Pulisic has to be one of these two players. So it's just which forward would complement him best.
Not Balogun.
I would agree.
I don't for the
I think the best compliment for Pulisic would be Haji Wright.
Yeah. I wanted to say him. I feel like Haji Wright currently is more clutch than Pepe and Sargent, and we might need a clutch player in these games.
Yeah. But that on the flip side also means he could be more valuable off the bench
True.
if we're trailing a goal and we need a goal.
Low key, that is a damn good shout.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, now that you said, for some reason, I don't even
but
think about
Pepe has been known to come on for the U.S. in late in games and score crucial goals. He did it multiple times during World Cup qualifying. So, and then he didn't even make the World Cup roster. That just is incomprehensible to me. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna say Haji Wright to begin with, so you didn't have to twist my arm too much to start.
Okay, let's say then Pulisic and Haji.
God, that's so good. Ugh,
All right,
that's hot.
that looks good.
That looks so good.
All right, now Greg Berhalter's lineup.
He'll have Horvath in goal.
He'll have the same back five there. I do think Johnny
so?
will not. No, he'll start Tim Ream over Carter Vickers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and he'll probably put Shaq Moore in.
Shut up. No, he won't.
Hey, you never know, man.
He'll have Reina right here.
Yeah.
I think he'll have Musa.
Mm-hmm.
No, I actually think he will start Tyler Adams. What do you think?
I just don't think. To me, that is incomprehensible. Because Adams hasn't played enough. And I know he won't start Johnny. Adams hasn't played enough. So I think he would go with Musa. But I could definitely see him starting Adams, unfortunately.
If I had to guess, like if I were betting, I would bet on Tyler Adams to be the third midfielder. But
hopefully he'll start Adams in the game against Colombia. See where he is, like if he's up to game pace.
To be fair to Greg, he did not start Adams against Jamaica, and he only gave Adams 45 minutes against Mexico in the final. So, you know, maybe it will be Musa. I don't think it'll be Johnny, and I don't think it'll be Tillman, because I think Tillman has to be Reyna's backup. I don't think Reyna and Tillman on the pitch together would work.
Yeah.
If they're not playing as like dual 10s, and he never plays as dual 10s. So it's not going to be Tillman. It's not going to be Johnny. It's going to be one of Musa or Adams.
I think it should be Musa if this is the lineup he goes with. But
I just have a gut feeling he'll give it to Adams.
Yeah, let's go with your gut then.
Pulisic on the left, obviously. I think
Sargent?
He's going to start Sargent.
Yeah.
And I also think he's going to start Haji Wright as a winger.
Oh, God.
Because we did bring him as a winger, and he has played as a winger for us before. I think he started as a winger against Mexico. No, he started up top. he came on to replace Tim Weah in the Jamaica game and played as a winger and scored 2 goals.
Did he? But did Greg change the formation, or was he actually playing?
No, because Pepe was already on for Balogun at that point.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that's Wright's perfect position, but I mean, he'll probably do a better job than Weah would. Weah's just had a bad season.
Yeah. I mean, he could give Weah the benefit of the doubt, but I think in my gut of guts, he'll start Haji Wright on the right.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I don't think this is as good as our formation or lineup, but
I think it's the best with the way we play, though, or maybe outside of Adams, but I do still think this is a strong 11.
yeah, it for sure is. Like, if this is our lineup, I worry a lot about Ream and Turner and Adams. I mean, I'm going to worry about Turner in either lineup.
So then I think if we were Greg, we would go.
If we were Greg,
and we had to play a 4-3-3, we would go.
Do you hear what I said?
No.
I said if we were Greg, we would resign.
Yeah. I think this would be what we would do. Musa instead of Adams,
Yes.
Carter Vickers instead of Ream.
Yes. Low-key, I might switch right with Sargent and put Pepe out wide. But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think Pepe has the technical ability to play wide.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, then I'm fine with this. Kind of sad to see Balogun falling off so far. Like, I'm not even sure how many appearances he'll make off the bench.
I mean, the fact that we technically brought 4 strikers is pretty interesting. And unless one of them, because funny enough, they are all Olympic eligible. So unless one of them gets cut from the roster and goes to the Olympics, I think we're going to have 4 strikers on the roster.
And I think I just think Balogun should be at the Olympics.
That's pretty bold.
If of all our forwards, he is the one in the form that, or he is the one in the least good form. It still kind of sounds funny.
I know what you mean.
Right.
He's in the worst form out of our 4 strikers.
There you go. Worst. Yeah. Which, I mean, 7 goals, 5 assists for Monaco isn't awful. And I think for the most part, he was playing behind Ben Yedder. And Ben Yedder's still class, so. But I mean, if Greg were to send any of the other ones to the Olympics, I think we'd have a problem. You know?
Yeah.
I think their form speaks for itself recently.
The only one that I could understand would be Pepe, just because he's still so young. That I could understand him playing on the Olympic roster could be really beneficial to him. But Sargent, he doesn't really need to be going down to that level.
Yeah.
Right, same as him. Like, so Pepe I could understand if Pepe wanted to play. You know.
We would miss Pepe's chance creation, I think. like his ability to create some opportunities up front if he's coming off the bench. I don't think with Balogun, I don't think we miss that much. Crazy to say. But I just I don't know. That's just how I see it.
That's fair. That's completely fair. All right. I'm going to ask you.
Oh, Lord.
How far do the U.S. get in the 2024 Copa America, and why?
Let me pull a nugget. Let me pull a nugget.
Okay, while you do that, I will give my answer. I think that they will get to the semis at least. I think that they should get to the semis at least. I think there's no excuses to be any worse than that anymore. I think in this level of competition, Greg Berhalter is not a good enough excuse. I think that if the players aren't able to win games for us like we've seen them do in the past, then I think that's on the players at this point. It's the same thing I said about England in the Euros with Gareth Southgate. I think if England does not win the Euros, it's not on Southgate anymore. They are so loaded that they should win the tournament in spite of him.
Right.
And I think that we are talented enough in this tournament relative to these players in this tournament that we are talented enough at home hosting the tournament to, at the bare minimum, make it to the semis. Now, I know in my TikTok, I made us go to the finals, but that was kind of just me being me and kind of just bantering to get engagement right. Farming. But I do think that the semifinals should be the absolute minimum, especially since we are the hosts and this group has been through a World Cup cycle now. They've won 3 Nations Leagues in a row. Greg is no longer a valid enough excuse, in my opinion. I don't think he's the right manager. I'm not saying that his tactics and lack thereof don't matter anymore, but I think we're talented enough to where we should be winning in spite of him. So I think we get to the semifinals, and I think it will be because Christian Pulisic's form continues, and he's just kind of, I don't want to say backpacking, but he, is elevating the team, and I think he's going to go off.
Yeah. I kind of don't like the way Copa did the knockouts. I really wish that there was in the semis that a team from Group A or Group B would play a group from Group C or Group D.
Yeah.
Because it makes it very, in my opinion, makes it kind of boring. But if we play Colombia in the quarters, that's a win. If we play Brazil in the quarters, I guess it depends on which match we play in. Oh, God. Would I rather us play in Las Vegas or Arizona? Las Vegas, I think. And I think you can understand why. So if all
right, Obama.
Which I think that's how it's going to crumble for us anyway. I think we're going to top the group and then play Colombia in Las Vegas. And then,
which we should be winning that game.
Yeah. And then let's see, Brazil's probably going to play Uruguay. Uruguay could low-key beat Brazil.
If Uruguay beats Brazil, we should be going to the finals.
Yeah. Where's
By the way,
Bank of-
Uruguay are 3-0 up on Mexico.
Okay. Yikes. But I mean,
At halftime.
Mexico's not anything anymore. So, and they're kind of fielding an experimental lineup. So, I know that they're
Two Darwin mayonnaise goals, by the way, just so you know.
Darwin mayonnaise. Just when we need him to be in good confidence. Where's Bank of America Stadium at?
Bank of America Stadium?
Yeah.
Is that where the Panthers? Is that Charlotte? No. That is. That's Charlotte. That's where the Panthers play.
Okay. If we play, okay, I'm gonna be bold here. I'm gonna say Uruguay. I'm gonna say Uruguay beats Brazil in the quarters. I think Uruguay is a lot more. The only thing with Uruguay is I think they're a lot more. They have a lot more ability to be Concacaf as well, of like the top 3 or 4 South American teams. So I think they can. I think they could bully Brazil a little bit, and then it would be USA Uruguay in the semis. In Charlotte. This is kind of like a Brazil friendly type thing. Like, it might depend on what our first result was. Obviously, I think we're going to top the group. In order to do that, we have to beat or draw them. We'll beat them again.
Yes.
Make it to the finals. Oh, hold on. Let me see the other side of the bracket, because I totally. It'll probably be Argentina. I think Argentina and Chile make it out of Group A.
We'll save those predictions. We'll be doing that next week on the big pod.
Okay. And then, oh god, dude, Group B is ass. All right. Well, judging by that, Argentina is probably going to be in the final.
In Miami.
Yeah. I mean, depends on if Messi goes or not, or how many penalties he's awarded. I think.
Will the refs be more inclined to give Messi another Copa America in Miami, or will they be inclined to give the USA home cooking and give us the win?
I think we already know the answer to that. Although Argentina only beat Costa Rica 3-1, so that was sarcasm.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, bud.
Their squad is actually really nice.
Argentina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, I think they'll win. And I
mean, they're forwards. Garnacho, Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, Correa, Messi. Like, I mean, come on. Can you imagine Chris Richards and Tim Ream going up against them?
Will hopefully be Chris Richards and Carter Vickers.
And then it'll be 3-0 instead of 5.
Hey, I think we'll get a goal.
Yeah, 3-1.
We'll get a. Yeah,
I said 3-2. I think in my TikTok.
I think it'll be 3-1. I guess I'd be okay with that.
As long as it's like a close 3-1. Like the third goal is like a late consolation.
Yeah. If it's any other team in the final from the other side, we should win. No questions asked.
Can I set the stage for you?
Uh-oh.
Did you know this? Did you know that the Euros and the Copa final are on the same day?
Oh, really?
Get your request off.
Yeah.
Get your requests.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, July 14th.
All right, bet. I'm doing it right now.
Luckily I don't have to, but both of those tournaments are that day. I think the Euros is at like 2. The Euro final is at 2. Yeah. And then the Copa finals at 7.
Bet.
If we're in the Copa final, I'm not watching it with the boys. Like you're the only person I'll watch it with.
Come on.
You're the only person I'll watch it with.
Come on, bro.
You're the only person I'll watch it with. I'll be so scared.
Come on, bro.
I don't want to hear the banter.
We're gonna get bantered regardless.
And yeah, but then if we win, we can banter them AF.
If we win, you mean when we win?
Right, when we win. That'd be the biggest accomplishment for any North American country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I can't think of anyone else winning anything bigger.
I mean, if you even count the Confederations Cup, which I don't think anybody's won that.
Copa's bigger than that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded the Confederations Cup.
No. They should bring it back.
They should. That shit was
Scrap
sick.
the Nations League.
Yes.
Or the Gold Cup, and then bring back the Confederations Cup.
You know what I wouldn't mind, actually, since you brought up the Nations League, is if they had both Nations Leagues winner from like Europe and North America.
Yes.
Together.
Yes.
I'd be okay. I actually would love that. And then, because then that wouldn't be the finalissima. That would be a new trophy.
Yeah.
Like the Nations League Super Cup, basically. Yeah. If it's any other team besides Argentina from A or B, we should win.
Oh yeah.
Which it's that side of the bracket is so easy. Argentina's gonna walk.
We really got screwed. Having Uruguay, Brazil, Colombia. Like Group A and Group B are so easy.
I know.
But I think that covers it. Copa America obviously starts in, what do we say, 13 days? 15 days. Right? 15 days.
15 days.
Okay. Very excited. Hopefully Copa America will be something that North America can compete in every time going forward.
Oh, God. I just hope all the USA fans come out.
I think if we win this tournament, that'll be a huge springboard, especially with hosting the World Cup. Like, winning this competition will be massive. It can't be understated, or it can't be overstated how huge it would be if we won. We'll just win 2026 World Cup, and then we don't have to worry about anything else.
We'll win both.
Right, we'll do the double. USA England final from AT&T Stadium in Dallas. No, it's in MetLife. God. MetLife, USA England. USA wins 1-0.
1-0.
Thanks to Kevon Sullivan, screamer.
Oh my. Yeah.
The 16-year-old. He'll be 16 at the start of the World Cup.
That would be insane.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Brandon, it's always a pleasure to do this.
Indeed.
We will be back with another special addition for the Olympics, probably. And then we won't really have any other kind of major competition to look forward to until the World Cup. Unless there's another Nations League next year, which there probably is. So, oh, and then there's a Gold Cup next year, but we don't bring our good players to the Gold Cup anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Gold.
Anyway, thanks for listening, watching. Subscribe to the YouTube podcast at TIK Connection Pod, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We'll be back, all of us, next week with the full Copa prediction, not just USA. Everything.
They're going to say we're going to go out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they will, but it's fine. We just need to be able to convince Abdon that we can top the group, and then we'll definitely beat Colombia in the quarters. So then they can't say that.
I don't think they'll think I don't think that they think we can beat Colombia.
That's fine. No, they're going to think that we're not going to top the group. And then we're going to play Brazil in the quarters, and then they definitely won't pick us to beat Brazil.
Yeah. Which
So we'll just have to hold our hands up on that one and be like, yeah, majority, whatever. Like,
boo.
Anyway, that is that. Thank you. We'll see y'all next week.